Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we toast 25-year-old Nicholas Ruthenberg of Vero Beach, Florida. Now, Nicholas recently got married by a clerk at the Vero Beach courthouse, and hours later, he was driving the wrong way down the street before crashing into oncoming traffic. And instead of remaining at the scene, he fled on foot. But police found him hiding in a nearby building. And after shouting a few random statements, Nick was given a breathalyzer test. Then he was given a second breathalyzer. And what do you think he blew?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. To the shock of everyone, both of his breathalyzers were clean. So at this point, officers were like, he's got to be on something. So they requested a urine test, and he complied. But before he provided a sample, he dropped his pants, took two fingers like the peace sign, and promptly inserted them into his leather Cheerio.
Oh, God.
He was immediately arrested at that point. They say they immediately put handcuffs on him. And oddly enough, they took him to the same Vero Beach courthouse that he got married in earlier that day.
What a day.
That is a hell of a day.
Jesus gracious.
Yeah, man. Got married, drove the wrong way, caused the accident, and it's inexplicable. He passed the breathalyzer and takes his fingers, jams them up the backside, and that's when the cops are like, you know what,
buddy.
No, come on.
Right.
Come on. So that's what it takes.
Okay.
So we pour this booze, and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola!
The men's room presents Profile This.
And Steve Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Sawyer. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Sawyer, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, sir.
All right, you know you have a choice of one of three stories. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Let's go interior decorating.
Okay.
All right, here is the story. We go to Naples, Florida, where a man is facing multiple charges after deputies found all kinds of goodies hidden in his anus. Patrick Wilson, 25, he was riding in the passenger seat when the driver was pulled over for a broken headlight. Now, the driver stupidly gave deputies permission to search the vehicle after they said they recognized his passenger Wilson from previous law enforcement encounters. Well, when Wilson got out of the car, deputy noticed a bag of heroin by his feet and placed him under arrest. Now, during a strip search at the Naples Jail Center, deputies found all kinds of goodies inside the 25-year-old's anus, and he's facing all kinds of charges. So my question for you is, what did they not find in his anus? What did they not find? Was it cigarettes, heroin, fentanyl, or burnt foil? So cigarettes, heroin, fentanyl, or burnt foil. Only one of those things was not in his anus. Sadly, the other three were.
Man, what do you think, Thrill?
Oh, I know the answer.
He knows the answer.
But I like how you come to me first. That's some fine detective work.
Yeah, you like that? I'm thinking heroin on this one.
You gonna go heroin?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the foil makes sense.
Well, the foil's going to be for the heroin or the fentanyl. So, in my mind, it's one of those two that's got to go. I can believe the cigarettes somehow. The foil, because he's going to cook it. I'm going to go fentanyl. I'm going to just take the opposite of that.
I'm with you, Miles. I don't think there's fentanyl in there. I think there's more heroin.
All right, we're going to find out.
What are you going with, Sawyer?
Sawyer's going with heroin for sure, right?
All right.
Final answer?
Heroin. Hold on, let's go back to it. Make sure it's the final answer.
Hey.
Is that your final answer, Sawyer?
We're locking it in.
Okay, good.
Locking it in.
We're going to find out what he did not have. Cigs, heroin, fentanyl, or foil next.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Kickstart summer with Memorial Day values at Lowe's. Choose 4 or more eligible Samsung appliances to complete your dream kitchen and laundry room. Plus, get 10% back via MasterCard gift card rebate. Also, save now on the latest Samsung appliances, like the bespoke refrigerator with panels in a variety of colors to mix and match. It's an easy way to create your own unique look. Memorial Day values start now at Lowe's. Shop in-store or online today. Offer ends June 13th. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Was a tease.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Category is interior decorating. On profile, this Naples, Florida man facing charges after many, many things were found on his backside. Question today is, what did they not find in his anus? Cigarettes, heroin, fentanyl, or foil?
And that is the very question now we pose to you, Sawyer. And let us start with E. Ted Smith and Miles Montgomery, both of whom agreed on fentanyl. Did not believe he had fentanyl in the backside. Oh, he had fentanyl in the backside. And Sawyer, you went with heroin. I don't know why, but you just picked heroin.
I knew it was one of the two. Nice work.
You did not have that. So here's the thing. In his butt, they found fentanyl. They found the burnt foil. They also found cigarettes. Does anyone want to hazard a guess of how many cigarettes?
24.
Oh, we need to go up.
48.
305.
What?
During a strip
300
search,
cigarettes in his butt?
during a strip search at the Naples Jail Center, deputies found a pack of 305 cigarettes inside of his anus.
Wow, that is Winston country.
That is, yeah, I hope they were Virginia Slims or a Capri, you know.
Now for all TV news all the time, and it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Sorry, Mike, I'm very confused. Yes. Yeah. You got 1 and 0 too as well. All right. Your choices today. Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers.
The Jimmys.
Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon.
Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
Yeah, it's right there to find all these guys have teams of talented writers and help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
A woman in Florida got arrested after she jumped in the front seat of a fire engine and tried to steal it. And when they asked her if she was on anything, she claimed to be drinking the elixir of life. Apparently, the elixir of life is Mad Dog 2020.
The Ted Smith.
Yeah, I'll say it you.
Yeah, that's me.
Just because you said Mad Dog. I'm like,
I know. Well, I had Cisco, but then I was like, you would know
definitely you.
that would, right. So I figured Mad Dog was just the cheap one everybody drank. Johnson & Johnson announced their COVID booster shot is 94% effective when given months after the first dose. People who got the J&J were like, yeah, that would have been nice to know about 3 months ago.
Fallon. Kimmel.
Fallon.
Johnson & Johnson announced its COVID booster shot is 94% effective when given 2 months after the first dose. People who got the J&J were like, yeah, that would have been nice to know about 3 months ago.
A pair of 107-year-old sisters in Japan just claimed the title of the oldest identical twins. And just to creep people out, they stand in the hallway of their retirement home and say, come play with us.
Fallon.
Yeah.
And finally, a pair of 107-year-old sisters in Japan just claimed the title of world's oldest identical twins. Yeah, and just to creep people out, they stand in the hallway of their retirement home and say, come play with us.
What is that, The Shining?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Creepy ass girl.
The oldest living identical twins live in Japan, just like the previous record holders. One of them died in 2000, the other one died in 2001 at age 108. You know what they died of? It's weird. They both died in skateboarding accidents.
Kimmel? Myers.
It's Kimmel.
The world's oldest living identical twins. The previous record holders were also from Japan. One of them died in 2000. The other one died in 2001 at age 108. You know what they died of? It's weird. They both died in skateboarding accidents.
That would be kind of funny.
Yeah.
Well, not funny they died.
Right.
But just like
the way.
Yeah. Like, why are people 180 with skateboarding? What do you think? Who's the oldest skateboarder?
Tony Hawk. It's got to be, right? I mean,
there's got to be a dude out in his 60s or 70s that's still skateboarding now.
Yeah, but not as good as Tony Hawk. I think the best one's
Well,
gotta be
Tony Hawk's the best skateboarder of all time.
Right. I think you need to ask Tony Hawk because he would tell you, like, this is the guy I idolize.
At Huntington Beach, man.
Got a deal here says that Tony Alva is the current oldest living professional skateboarder in the world at the age of 63.
Yeah, okay. That's the winner.
All right. Tony Alva, yeah. Let's see.
Your name's got to be Tony if you're going to be a good skater today.
Well, I think, isn't he like one of the original guys from California, like super back in the day?
Probably.
Yeah. I think there was a movie about him or something.
One of the original members of Zephyr Competition Skateboarding Team.
There you go.
Also known as the Z-Boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Z-Boys.
Yeah.
Nobody calls me that anymore.
Z-Boy.
Z-Boy.
Hey, Z-Boy. Is it the Z-Boys or Z-Boys?
Z-Boys.
Why don't you take care of the boys?
So if you watch The Voice, mine's Z-Boys. If you watch The Voice, you know Ariana Grande is one of the judges on there.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mike does not like Ariana Grande.
Really?
That means large in Spanish, Mike.
Why don't you like her?
I find her annoying.
All right.
I
don't
ever have anything nice to say about her. I'm sure she is very nice.
Well, this story will probably annoy you more. One of the things on the Voice is you're not supposed to talk to the people on your team outside of when you're coaching them and stuff.
Okay.
So she goes on the Kelly Clarkson show and just said, yeah, I've broken every rule in my contract. I DMing my team. You're not supposed to do that. And I'm like, sorry.
And as I recall, that's kind of the stuff that I remember. As far as reasons why I don't like her. She was the one that licked the donut inside the shop. Remember that one?
Yeah, that was years ago.
It was years ago, and I never let it
you
go.
can excuse her donut licking.
Yeah.
I mean, look, she could eat a whole donut, but
she put on double her weight.
Whatever you're into.
Between that, the butt stories, and then Thrill today, I think we'd talk about donuts all damn day.
Yeah, hopefully she licked a donut that's for consumption, not one that
Take
you
care of the boys, lick the donut.
It's like a French bakery in here. That didn't sound French at all.
It was more Italian, but
wait. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to speak French and I'm throwing my hand around. Sometimes Jimmy Fallon does some pretty funny stuff. So this one was a hashtag describing a movie badly.
Avengers Infinity War. Some guy wants to bedazzle his glove, but everyone keeps trying to stop him. Titanic. Everyone takes the ice bucket challenge. Shrek, Beauty and the Beast, but with more Smash Mouth. There you go. Hey now. I like that. Up, inflation causes housing crisis.
I get it. I love that one.
You've got mail. Guy and girl check their email for 2 hours. Still the best ever. In 1998, for a Wizard of Oz listing on TCM, writer Rick Polito wrote, transported to a surreal landscape, a young girl kills the first person she meets, then teams up with 3 strangers to kill again. That's real. This one's from @Jason Alexander. We love that. We love Jason Alexander. He says, the sound of music. Some kids sing a few show tunes while escaping from the Nazis. There you have it. Those are our Tonight Show hashtags.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Wizard of Oz one is the best.
That's great, yeah. Kills first person she sees, teams up with strangers to kill again. See, that would get me to watch that movie. Like, oh, I'm in.
2 brothers get a job on a farm, and one kills the other one. Fights a men.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
Wow. Kills brother who loves puppy.
Oh, yeah, the brother kills, too.
Yeah, kills puppy. Yeah.
All right, so here's some new TV watching habits. Do you guys ever get stuck just searching and searching and searching?
I will spend an hour doing that, yeah. Most of the time. I get it pretty quick.
Do you?
Yeah, for the most part. I know. I'm a big searcher, and then every once in a while, if you go to like movies and stuff, I realize I've watched 15 trailers. And a lot of the trailers look really good, but then I do the time check. Like, I love Christopher Nolan, the director. Mm-hmm. Problem is all of his movies are like 2.5, 3 hours. Mm-hmm. So I'm scrolling through. It's like 11:30 at night. I'm like, I'd like to watch Tenet. I really would. But it's not going to happen. I'll be up until 2 o'clock in the morning, and I don't want to watch it when the kids are awake because they're going to do things like talk to me. And that's going to ruin the movie.
For some reason, I just go through and if I see something I really like, I just end up watching it. It's typically the same stuff. Probably 4 days out of the week, it's Step Brothers. I'll just continue watching this.
Oh, just watching the same shows over and over?
Just watching the same
it depends.
movies over and
if
over
Expedition
again.
Unknown is on, I will watch that.
I'll watch Planet Earth a lot with David Attenborough.
Yeah, I watch a lot of
the.
I can watch a lot of the Fox like Sunday night cartoons over and over.
Sure,
or animation,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like Bob's Burgers or Family Guy.
Yeah,
yeah, and Family Guy's pretty good.
And they just roll one after another. So once you get on that channel, you probably watch 4 hours of that same show.
Yeah, and then about every 2 years, I watch all Trailer Park Boys again. But yeah, I was like, yeah, it's hard. Like there's so many choices. That's what some of these stats are. They say the average person spends 24 minutes a week deciding on which shows to watch, and another 25 minutes on movies. So over the course of your life, you'll spend 112 days flipping through channels and exploring Netflix.
That's about it, man.
That's still less than what's for dinner.
But it's crazy because with all the streaming services, and I cannot keep up with all the new shows, right? I just cannot do it. The problem is every once in a while a commercial comes on. I'm like, ooh, that's right in my alley. Remember what streaming service it's on. Well, I never do. That's one. So then I go to all the streaming services trying to remember the name of the show that I'm trying to track down in the first place. And in the end, I have watched previews for like every other goddamn show, but don't actually watch anything.
Yeah.
This is how my night is, huh?
Yeah. Or the other one I like is sitting there and going, I can't watch this movie. I'll be up too late. So I'll watch 4 half-hour shows and stay up just as long. Yeah. So if that makes any sense. A third of people say it's hard to decide what to watch because there are just too many options now. Which,
I mean, yes and no.
I get it. That's just a weird statement. Like, there's too many options.
But, people treat it like a restaurant, right? They're looking at the menu and they go, man, everything looks good. And I'm guilty of this too, but then I always tell myself, if you think everything looks good, just point at one.
Yeah.
Right? If I truly believe all of these things are as appealing as the menu's making them look, then just order any one of them. You'll be fine.
Well, I think the problem too with menus, right? Like sometimes especially if it's a new place, like once I pick something, I'm just like, all right, put the menu away. Because if you keep looking down at it,
right, everything changes.
Right, everything changes. But for some reason, the clicker in your hand, you'll just keep bouncing around.
Yep.
Just keep going and going and going. 36% have watched something they didn't really want to watch, but people were raving about it, and they didn't want to miss out.
I've never done that. Anytime I'm sitting through something I don't want to watch, it's because my wife has already commandeered the remote and we're sharing the sofa. That's honestly. But we both tune out of each other's crap. Like if she's watching crap I really don't want to watch, I'll read a magazine, whatever.
Yeah,
I know it's on, but I won't look at it.
A new poll found that women are most likely to control the remote. and choose most of the shows couple watch. 67% of women say it's true.
I think there's a lot more out there.
The average couple has 2 dust-ups a month over what to watch.
Because guys don't fight as much about it. The only golden rule I have is if there's football on, I'm in front of the big TV. This is non-negotiable, and I'm not interested in what you think. And everybody gives me that on Sunday. Monday through Saturday, my voice carries the least influence over what's going to be on TV.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Also, what you want to watch most of the time probably isn't exactly child appropriate.
A lot of times when the kids walk out,
language or whatever the deal is.
One of the worst, I can't remember the movie I was watching, and I hear my daughter walking into the living room. It's like 11:30. She can't sleep, whatever. I hit pause, and I'm talking to her, and she keeps glancing at the TV, and I realize where I paused it, the image on the screen was so terrifying to her. And I cannot remember the movie, but it was like half horror. So basically, like, there is a demon slaughtering someone, but like blood is spewing out of him, but it's just the still image. I'm like, you know what, baby, let me back this up a little bit. I'm sorry about that. Daddy wasn't looking, yeah. Because she's like, what is that? I said, just get it out of here.
Now I have nightmares.
I know. Like, don't worry about it. Stop looking.
Sleep now, I can't sleep.
I was like, oh, God.
Sometimes, too, like, is it worth it even to argue with people? You know what I mean? Like, it's a TV show.
It's not.
Yeah, right. Like, I mean, it's like, all right, cool.
But it's different now, right? Because now I can say, you know what? Watch whatever the hell you want to watch. Because I can on-demand anything. Before on-demand and all that, like, look, when you just had 3 or 4 networks, and if you didn't see it then, you weren't going to see it again for years, like, that's when the fights broke out.
The top things we look for before we watch something are the genre, the actors, and how long a movie or TV show it is.
I think I'm almost the reverse order of that.
I don't care about the actors. I mean, like,
I'll go length first. Like, how much time do I have?
Right.
I'm going to go to sleep. Oh, this is only an hour. Cool.
The actors don't matter to me. I would say a big one for me, too, is certain people's recommendations.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, certain shows I trust from people. Some people just recommend all the same shows all the time. But, like, you know what I mean? Like we talk about movies all the time, and Thrill will be like, yeah, it's like sci-fi, dude. You're not going to like it. I'm like, all right.
Well, so you know whose advice to take on certain movies, right?
Same with food, man. Like, I trust Miles on wings.
I mean, I got that.
And then the last one on here is just under half of us have taken so long to decide. We end up turning the TV off. Didn't watch anything.
Hell with it.
Yeah, I look at the clock. I'm like, I need to go to bed. All I did was surf through 40 different shows and movies that all were somewhat appealing, but I've watched none of them.
And that's a disappointing feeling, too, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because I went through all this because I just wanted to watch something and relax. And it's not that you're not relaxing, but it's just a different mindset.
That's why I usually just put on a food show.
I
watched 2 hours of insects the other night. I'm like, what's going on with me? What's wrong with my life? I learned so much about insects.
Insects.
I told you. I'll spend,
I thought you were like on an X-rated BET.
No. I'll spend hours watching, dude. They're all doing the same thing, dry rubbing it the night before. Can't tell you what's in there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's an hour-long show.
I get stuck on that, too.
Let's see. Turn on ESPN 2 tonight, 7 p.m. You have your Sounders in the League's Cup final. So raise a trophy if they win tonight.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Kickstart summer with Memorial Day values at Lowe's. Choose 4 more eligible Samsung appliances to complete your dream kitchen and laundry room. Plus, get 10% back via MasterCard gift card rebate. Also, save now on the latest Samsung appliances, like the bespoke refrigerator with panels in a variety of colors to mix and match. It's an easy way to create your own unique look. Memorial Day values start now at Lowe's. Shop in-store or online today. Offer ends June 13th. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. That couple that was busted having sex in a glass gondola. Yeah, they're busted again. Singing karaoke in a photo booth. Meanwhile, young teens are now putting nicotine patches in the place where out pops the Baby Ruth. Michigan man leaves pipe bombs at cell phone stores to rid the world of cursing and porn. Mike, by the way, has the 5 best types of penis extenders if you want a bigger horn. And a mom and a daughter are charged with murder over an illegal butt lift. It is time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
Top story, we go to the UK, where young Scandinavian people are making some interesting choices with their tobacco. Someone did some digging after a few too many people ended up in the doctor's office after they had experimented with their snooze pouches, claiming to have gotten drunk and inserted the pouches into their foreskin, forgetting them overnight.
Oh,
yeah.
They smoke a cigarette, man.
Right. Then they passed out. They left him in there, said that got rather irritated. So, another came to the forefront that says that they threw caution to the wind, inserting the pouch through the old rear chute there. Says that it was quite painful at first, but the craving did go away, so it did have some effect.
I'm sure they go away. You put a patch in the butt. I get it.
Doctors are...
I don't smoke anymore.
I don't chew neither. Doctors are strongly advising not to attempt these methods. Listen, yes, it probably will have an effect. Let's just not.
Yeah, don't stick a tobacco patch in your butt.
Can we just use
Why do we have to say this to someone who's not for?
I'm rather disappointed in that myself. I feel like we shouldn't have to say this.
You know what? They just shouldn't. Look, if you're going to stick a nicotine patch in your butt, why say it?
Use things for their intended purposes, man. Don't go beyond that. Come on now. In other news, let's turn the clocks back a bit. You may recall the couple from Myrtle Beach that were busted engaging in some sexual activity on their local glass gondola.
Yeah.
Well, they've been busted again, and you'll never guess for what. The previous times they were hit with charges of indecency, they had uploaded photos to Pornhub. This time they gave themselves away by taking some risque photos that led to yet another public encounter in a park.
Stop posting the photos.
Right. That's called evidence. And apparently, just based on the fact that they posted it again, and they're not stopping at all, because this was not long ago. This was, I feel like, within this last year.
It was a couple months ago.
So the punishment just ain't enough to deter them from doing it, because they just enjoyed a little bit too much, and that's all their content. So good work there, gang. A mother and daughter are being charged with murder for their quote-unquote back alley procedures. The pair have been charged with the murder of a woman that was looking to augment her rear end, saying that their procedure would cost roughly $4,000, $11,000 cheaper than if it were to be done professionally.
Then you know it must be good.
That's right. As you can assume, they're not licensed to perform any of these procedures, and the woman unfortunately had to be taken to the hospital, where she did pass from her botched procedure. We were having this conversation earlier on in the office, that if you just look at these two that are about to give you the procedure, you wouldn't trust them at all.
Hell no.
I mean,
I would trust them to get me meth. I would not trust them to do a surgical procedure.
Right.
And I know you shouldn't be judgy, but I looked at the mugshot. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
I mean, if this woman... Okay. Never mind. I'm not going to go there. Just if a woman came to you and said, don't worry, I'm doing this myself. I did this all on my face, my own self.
Yeah.
Would you trust it?
Hell no.
No, you would not. This woman could not move her face, let alone perform an actual surgery on you. Goodness gracious. If you're a man in his 70s on a mission to put an end to pornography and cursing, what would you do to accomplish that mission? Maybe
stay off the internet?
I don't know.
Stay off the internet, picket something. I'm not positive, but if you answered pipe bombs, then you might be our man in Michigan.
Ooh.
He was arrested after he once again left several threatening messages to cell phone companies on their towers, complete with pipe bombs left at the scene.
Jesus, man.
So this guy would just...
Bold move, Con.
I know, right? So he was going after Verizon, he was going after AT&T, as if they're the ones that are pushing the pornography.
Right.
Like he's not going after Pornhub or any of the other ones that you might hear about, and cursing for that matter as well.
I just think anytime that you say you're on a moral crusade and violence is your answer, you might not understand morality.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like, look, it's okay. A lot of people say a lot of things they don't get, but that's ridiculous.
Right. And then to up the ante by actually going to the cell phone towers, leaving these notes there, as well as a doggone active pipe bomb. Mm-hmm. Like this thing was legit. Mm-hmm. How do you not use that intelligence of yours for good?
And the irony is, you want people to stop cussing. I bet you when they discovered the pipe bomb, the first words out of their mouth are OS.
Right. Exactly.
I thought it was going to be some kind of like weird 5G stuff or something.
Nope. But that is it for headlines. With that, Mike Hawkins up.
Take it back, more Men's Room on the way next. Join us on the Men's Room Happy Hour exclusively on the Odyssey app. Download that bad boy next. More Men's Room coming up in seconds.
Yes, indeed, it is all true. But in the meantime, we be all about this bitch for 90 seconds. So until then, please do what you do best, and for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production. Portions of the following program have been pre-recorded.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
this is not a test. Your ears do not deceive you. There is no way out. You are here. She fell out of the sky and with the full force of gravity landed on the rock with a hefty thud. It's Taryn Daly.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Kickstart summer with Memorial Day values at Lowe's. Choose 4 more eligible Samsung appliances to complete your dream kitchen and laundry room. Plus, get 10% back via MasterCard gift card rebate. Also, save now on the latest Samsung appliances, like the bespoke refrigerator with panels in a variety of colors to mix and match. It's an easy way to create your own unique look. Memorial Day values start now at Lowe's. Shop in-store or online today. Offer ends June 13th. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.